afternoon.
If I walk right?
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2012. Please rise and join me in honoring our country as the United States Army, U.S. Army Recruiting Station in St. Peter's presents the colors. This will be followed by the Star Spangled Banner, performed by the Fort Zumwalt East Symphonic Band in our school's alma mater, performed by the combined choir of Fort Zumwalt East High School. I would ask that you remain standing until both songs are concluded. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Thank you, Mr. Padgett, the East High Symphonic Band, and Mrs. Grosh, and the East High Combined Choir. Please be seated. Senior choir members, you may take your seats with your fellow graduates. Once again, good afternoon. My name is Henry St. Pierre, and I'm the principal of East High School. It's truly a privilege to be here today to honor our graduating seniors, the great students who make up the class of 2012. This is a special event in the lives of each of these seniors seated before us, as well as their family and friends. Not only is this a milestone event for these 285 students, but also for the Fort Zumwalt School District and for East High School. An impressive accomplishment, such as a high school graduation, is worthy of a dignified ceremony. And it is with this in mind that we ask the graduates and spectators to maintain expectations appropriate for such an occasion. We also ask that spectators show their appreciation for our graduates in a respectful manner. We do request that any applause is done in a tasteful fashion warranted by such a formal event, as each graduate deserves to have their name heard as they walk across the stage. Likewise, our graduates are prepared to remain dignified throughout the ceremony. They too realize the importance of appropriate and formal behavior and understand that actions to the contrary are not acceptable in this forum. It's our hope that all spectators and graduates of the class of 2012 will help us continue the excellent tradition for commencement ceremonies at East High that was begun with the class of 2010 and again repeated with the class of 2011. Thank you for your cooperation and hope that you enjoy this afternoon's program. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our stage guests. I ask these guests to please rise as I introduce them and remain standing until all have been introduced. Please hold your applause until all of our honored guests have been introduced. Dr. Bernard Dubray, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Michael Price, President of the Board of Education. Mrs. Barbara Bryan, Vice President of the Board of Education. Mrs. Carol Russell, Member of the Board of Education. Mr. Scott Grasser, Member of the Board of Education. Mr. Mike McCormick, Member of the Board of Education. Dr. Renee Porter, Member of the Board of Education. Mrs. Lori Schmidt, Member of the Board of Education. Dr. Patty Corum, Deputy Superintendent, Personnel. Dr. Kim Carter, Assistant Superintendent, Student Services. Dr. Jackie Floyd, Assistant Superintendent, Curriculum and Instruction. Mr. Paul Myers, Assistant Superintendent, Special Services. Mr. Bill Weber, Assistant Superintendent, Facilities and Construction. Mr. Jeffrey Orr, Chief Financial Officer. Mrs. Laura Musket, Administrative Assistant to the Superintendent and Public Relations. And East High Juniors, Sarah Newbold and Tenya Vu, assisting with the program this afternoon on stage. Seated at the front of the stage, Mr. Brian Bishop, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Brenda Parisi, Assistant Principal. Mr. Brad Fisher, Assistant Principal. Mr. Josh Devlin, Assistant Principal. Mr. Tim Grimes, Activities Coordinator. Mrs. Patty Joyce, Guidance Department Chair. Mrs. Kristen Piercy, Guidance Counselor. Mrs. Jean Hudson, Guidance Counselor. Mrs. Jan Davis, Guidance Counselor. Mrs. Margaret Osborne, Crisis Counselor. And leading the processional in this afternoon, East High Juniors, Taylor DiRoberto and Lindsay Gomez. How about a nice round of applause for all of our honored guests. Thank you. You may be seated. Also in attendance for today's ceremony, we're honored to have State Representative Mrs. Vicki Schneider. Mrs. Schneider, would you please stand to be recognized? We thank you for coming out to help us celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. At the end of each row of student seating is a member of the Fort Zumwalt East faculty who is volunteering their time to be here to honor our graduates and assist with the program. We'd like to say thank you to the teachers who have provided so much for these students. Today represents the culmination of all of their work with our students over the last 4 years. If the East High teachers could please stand and be honored with a round of applause. Thank you. This time, please welcome Fort Zumwalt Superintendent, Dr. Bernard Dubray, as he comes forward to provide his comments for today's ceremony. Dr. Dubray.
Thank you, Henry. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Board of Education and the District Administration, I'd like to welcome you to this third graduation ceremony for East High School. The Board of Education graduated 38 students at Hope High School last night and already has graduated 2 other high schools earlier today. By this evening, about 10 o'clock, they will have graduated 1,200 students into their post-high school lives. We think we've done a wonderful job with our seniors that are graduating, but for the Board of Education, it's a test to see what you do from this point forward, and we know you're going to do well. I'll take just a few minutes. I have a few things I want to pass along myself. First of all, also from the Board of Education, I'd like to thank Representative Schneider for being with us. She's attended our high school graduations now for a number of years and provides booklets and different types of educational materials to our elementary schools. We appreciate her being here. Another nice hand for Representative Schneider. I want to thank the faculty and the staff and of course Dr. St. Pierre and the assistant principals for the good job they've done with the student body. We know you've already made us proud, and we know you're going to make us prouder after your graduation this evening. In 1987, North High School was the first school that had an all-night graduation party. It was planned by the parents, and at the time, it was designed to keep kids safe at this exciting times of their lives. And it's an all-night party, it's drug-free, and it gives kids the opportunity to be kept busy so that they don't do anything foolish at this exciting time. We've had several parents here from East that have worked on tonight's all-night graduation party at East High later this evening. And the names are too many to mention, but I would like a nice hand for all the parents that have helped plan the all-night graduation party. Back in the early years of the district, our graduations were all held on football fields, and that was wonderful when the weather was good, and it wasn't so good when the weather was bad. We haven't had to worry about that for a number of years now because we've had this beautiful family arena. It's cool, it's dry, and we have as many tickets as we need, so that's a pretty good thing for all of us. The county executive is Steve Ailman, and the county of St. Charles owns this facility, and they made it available to us. How about a nice hand for Steve Ailman and the county? All the time that we've graduated here at the Family Arena has been associated with Memorial Day weekend. This is the first time that that's not the case. But I don't want to forget our veterans, and I think it's important for us this evening to recognize our students, our seniors that have already enlisted in the service. So I'd like to name you and ask you to stand until we finish. So, already enlisted in the military, Skylar Freeman in the Air Force, Emily Reitz in the Air Force, and Ian Lenz in the Army. Thank you guys, we appreciate what you're doing and what you're going to do for us. How about all the veterans in the audience? Would you all stand and be recognized? Stand up. We really can't thank you enough for all you've sacrificed for our country. And to you seniors, just one more word of congratulations. You know, the Board of Education is the only entity that can grant your high school diploma. You've met all their requirements. You've met all the requirements of the state of Missouri. There is no one seated among you that has not met those requirements. So your diploma that you receive really means something. And we know that you're going to do great things with it. So congratulations again for meeting all those requirements and meeting this milestone in your lives. Nice hand for the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and enjoy the ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Bray. Class of 2012, congratulations. In just a matter of minutes, you will officially become a high school graduate. This is a monumental accomplishment and one that you can all be proud of. I can still fondly recall my high school graduation. I was really excited, really nervous, and kind of sad all at the same time. Your graduation is a little more poignant to me as my graduating class, the class of 1992, prepares for our 20-year high school reunion this summer. 20 years. Where did those 20 years go? It seems like just yesterday I too was sitting where you are. But working in a high school for the last 16 years now, I've noticed in a lot of ways not much about high school has changed. Well, I will have to say my high school principal wasn't quite as cool as I am, I'm sure. High school may not have changed significantly. There have been a lot of other changes in the last 20 years. I've lost a bit of hair, gained a few pounds. I used to get going at 9 o'clock at night, and now I'm lucky if I can stay awake past 9 o'clock at night. 20 years ago, the internet was not a household concept. Electronic mail never overtake a good handwritten sentiment. Twitter was the name of my best friend's dog. The only way to read text messages was to open a book. Students, you won't believe this, but you actually had to set foot in the library to complete a research paper. All these advancements made, and of course countless more, seemingly to me at least, in the blink of an eye. Where's the time gone? And yet, each year seems to go faster and faster. The world has dramatically changed in 20 years. But I remember, sitting where you are now, the thoughts that frequently entered my mind. I can't wait for Friday. Spring break is 4 long weeks away. Summer can't get here soon enough. I've heard many of you echo those same sentiments over the last 4 years. But I noticed something. During the last 2 weeks or so, the tide has turned a bit. Some of you shared it with me. Some of you shared it with your classmates, your parents, your teachers. Some of you maybe thought it, but didn't want to admit it. You're realizing what I realized long ago. You wish the clock could slow down just a little bit. As I collected my thoughts for your graduation, I was reminded of a poem that some of you may be familiar with. It's called The Dash. And no, it's not about the dash you made in the Commons for 4 years to avoid the ID checks. It's about a different kind of dash, and I'm going to share a bit of it with you today. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came her date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we won, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. 20 years from now, how will you look back upon what your dash has become? I, for one, think your dashes are going to be incredible because you've made them pretty awesome so far. Look at what you've accomplished as a class here at East. Over $2.6 million in scholarship offers. The highest ACT average composite score in the district. Countless hours of college credit. High-flying AP exam scores. Too many school records, conference and district championships to count. Award-winning arts, a National Honor Society program, and a nationally recognized student council. These accolades don't come by accident. They're earned as a result of hard work, dedication, and some of the best student leadership that I've seen in my years in education. There were those other moments too. You rallied together not once, but twice to stand up against a hate group that threatened to push their beliefs on our school. I never thought I'd see so many students at school at 5:30 on a February morning. You've also been reminded, unfortunately, of just how precious life can be. I'm curious as to what our world will look like as you prepare for your 20-year reunion. How will you be a part of the changes that are inevitable in the next 20 years? What will people say about you as you continue to form your dash? Said the best indicator of future success is past performance. And with that the case, I feel very confident that your dash will be a good one. As you look around the arena floor today and we begin our celebration, take a moment to thank the teachers, the counselors, the administrators, and the support staff who have provided you with the foundation. What you have is more innate than what we've given you. You have the character, the leadership ability, the fortitude, the drive, determination, and talent. You have the ability to make your dash the best one ever. Class of 2012, thank you for all you've done. You've left your mark on East High, not only with the beautiful alma mater print, which will now be prominently on display in the main entrance, but also because the bar has been raised. Future classes will have to aim high to reach your marks in the classroom, on the fields, and on the stage. Your dash is off to a phenomenal start. Class of 2012, cherish the moments that make up your life. Trust me, it goes by quickly. Seize opportunities that lie in front of you. Create your own good fortune. Make your dash a great one. I know you can do it. Congratulations, class of 2012. Thank you.